All right, so an example of what not to do. Whoever did this roof runoff system ran that downspout to here. Now, there's absolutely no way that water is getting out of here. It is affecting your foundation. You've accomplished absolutely nothing. If you pay somebody to put in an underground buried downspout system and they do this for you, throw them off your property and save your money. Get another guy in there. Get it done right, because this does nothing. That does nothing. All this is just saturated. It's just all spongy. Now, another thing, water has a hard time running through grass. It's not going to run the way you envision it, like it does on a concrete driveway or a stamped, concrete patio. So you need to help water as much as you can find its way through turf grass. Well, you're never going to get that water through this bottleneck if you're dumping all that water there. Not going to happen. You want to run that main line and get it to where you have a nice break. I don't care how far that is. People always say, how far do I need to run my downspout line for my house? And I think some people get frustrated when I say, as far as you have to. And what I mean by that is that line has to find a point where it drops, where you finally start to drop. That way you're going to empty all the water out of the line. And people always say, well, pop-ups hold water. I've already shot tons of video. I've gone back during a winter thaw, showed the pop-ups working. As long as you have drop at the end, this whole line won't be full of water. And the way we show you how we put a pop-up in, where we have pea stone around it, that's all you need. You'll get rid of that little bit of water that's in that elbow at the pop-up emitter. Things are coming along real nice. Francisco took an extra bucket of clay out right here for our catch basin. Love it. There's going to be plenty of stone under it. Make sure you have stone under your catch basin. So they have a couple downspouts that we're grabbing down the side of the house. That's a hand dig through there. Just can't get in there with an excavator, so it is what it is. But at least with the 3-inch plus, it's a lot easier than the 4-inch line. The 4-inch line's crazy ridiculous. When you don't need a 4-inch line, it's just, don't use it in a case like that where you're hand digging. So then the guys go ahead and wire this together. They're going to put that on a 4-inch line. And I'll tell you why. There's going to be too much water. By the time we look at this run right there, that's a pretty good run on the back of this house. And then right here, now let me explain how this works. This is a long gutter run, and it can look like pretty intimidating. Like, wow, like we're trying to grab up a ridiculous amount of water. It's like Niagara Falls. But look, that downspout is on the same gutter that goes across the back of this house. So there's two downspouts. If one falls behind, the other one's gonna, kick in. That's how that is. Water seeks level in the gutter up top, no worries. It's like a balance tube in between the two downspouts. So we're gonna have them on two separate lines. Gonna hit that with a 4-inch right here and out to a pop-up emitter. We'll show you how we do that. I want to show you guys what this landscape company did. Do you think that's doing anything for this homeowner? The water's being discharged right here. Right there's the foundation of the house. This water is going nowhere. It's just sitting here and pooling. Any cracks in the basement wall, any rod holes from when they poured the basement wall and they had to put the forms together, sometimes at the rod holes you'll leak water. Look, you can have cracks in a basement wall. And if your roof runoff system is running the water far away from the house, you're likely not to see any water come in. I'm telling you, I see it all the time. You'll have a cracked area in the basement, and the people live there 20 years. And then all of a sudden, the grass will grow over the discharge end, for example, and now the water can't discharge. So it just pours over the gutter trough right along the house. Suddenly you've got a basement leak. You're getting a call to the office and they're saying, I've never had water in my basement in 20 years. right away I already know what it is. The grass grew over the discharge end. Or it clogged because they didn't build it right. One of two reasons. But this is nothing. The landscaper charged the homeowner for this. You know, what this is a mugging. That's what that is. That's sad that the homeowner probably paid a few $100s and they got 10 feet of corrugated pipe, 6-inch speedy basin. That don't even let the leaves out. We've opened all these up and took out all the leaves. They're just full of compost. Look at this. Look, that line is half full of leaves that have decomposed and are turning into topsoil. It's ridiculous. You know, you want to pop up with a pop-up door that lets all that big organic, you know, just flushes it out on those real hard rains. Something worth mentioning, these catch basins that take a 4-inch pipe on the outside of here, and then 3-inch pipe goes inside here, you're choking it down to a 3-inch pipe. So when you do want a true 4-inch pipe, you're not going to get what you're looking for flow when you're using one of these catch basins on a 4-inch line. You're just not. So keep that in mind. That's why we made our own catch basin. So we got our sediment trap installed now. We got a leaf filter, so we're catching the leaves. We're getting rid of all those organics. All the shingle gravel can collect inside this catch basin. The guys hand dug. They put the 3-inch plus line in. Nice, easy. Look, we got a utility. No problems. This was all hand digged down the side, so this 3-inch plus works fantastic. Now remember, the 3-inch plus has 8% greater area, 8% more area than a standard 3-inch line. Just a little over 8%. So that's why we like the 3-inch plus. It seems to be just right for a downspout. It seems to be perfect. We're really happy with it. And the guys were able to dig the rest of this out with an excavator, but we're going to put 3 lines together total on a 4-inch main. All right, that 3-inch plus line that's coming down the side of the house is going to get tied into that 4-inch Y. Our setup guy already put together the Y for Francisco and Valente. We have a 3 to 4 increaser in this case, depending on how you're going to use it, but in this case it's an increaser. We're going to have the 3-inch plus coming off this downspout right here. We're going to tie it into this 4-inch Y. We got this 3-inch plus coming down the side of the house from the front yard. We're going to tie that into this 4-inch Y. Right here is where we're going to start our 4-inch main. And then we're going to pick up another 3-inch plus and put it on the 4-inch main the same way by using that 3 to 4 increaser. You can see the guy's got another Y right here waiting and ready. And all of them are going to have their own sediment trap. We want to be able to catch all the shingle gravel. As this roof ages, all that gravel is going to come off those shingles as it ages. It's a lot of gravel, you know, over time. The older the roof is, the more gravel that roof's going to lose. So you'll be surprised how much gravel these sediment traps will capture. They'll collect quite a bit. So Francisco went ahead and put pea stone on the fabric. You want to make sure you get a good pocket of stone under your catch basin. The fabric's going to keep the subsoil from filling the voids in that stone. After a rain event, whatever there is for water in this catch basin is just going to leach away into the subsoil. So you can see there's 6 locations under the catch basin, and it's made to where it guides your drill bit. You just go ahead and stick a small drill bit. The guys used a 3/16 drill bit, made holes in 6 locations, did a really nice job. Now, you don't want too big of holes because you don't want to be leaking too much water at this catch basin during a hard rain. But once the rain is over, whatever's left in this catch basin, you want it to leach away into the subsoil. Now, if you don't put stone under it, the catch basin's just going to be sitting on the clay, and those little holes are going to come in contact with just a small area. When you have a bed of pea stone, Now the water that's left in the catch basin can spread through the voids of the stone over a greater area. Now you can actually leach all the water that's in that catch basin away once the rain event is over. So Francisco's going to cut the riser to fit. He's measuring right now with the leaf filter. He's putting the leaf filter up next to the downspout. He made a nice clean cut. You cut in between the ribs on the riser. The leaf filter falls in anything 4-inch. Any 4-inch pipe, the leaf filter fits in. Doesn't matter if it's PVC or corrugated. And we also have a 3-inch adapter for a 3-inch pipe. Got the not quite a 90. You can see that this line is on slope automatically. We're sloping away from the house really nice because that's not a 90 degree. If that was a true 90 degree, then this line would come straight out. We'd have to force it down. That's not the issue here. We want to keep the flow. We want to keep the velocity. We want to keep our pounds per square inch so that we force all the debris, any tree buds and tree seeds that find their way into this line, they make it through the leaf filter. They're just going to get washed out to the discharge end. Now remember, when you're backfilling, be really smart. Make sure your leaf filter's straight. Francisco did a great job, nice and straight. And then when you backfill, make sure dirt doesn't roll under it. Like here's a good example. Like right here, big chunk of dirt went underneath the pipe. That'll change your slope. Both downspouts are going to be carrying a maximum amount of water. They're on long gutter runs. So when we merge this, we don't want to merge it to another 3-inch line. We want to merge it to a 4-inch line at this point. I highly recommend that you make all these cuts with a hacksaw. You can see everything snaps together quick, easy. Go ahead and put some really good plumbing tape on it, seal it up. You're going to seal it up, make it watertight. We got some trees next door. The way the men laid the parts out, they got the 3-inch plus coming off this downspout. They got a 3-inch plus coming off one of the front downspouts. We had good slope to the back, so we took all the water off that front corner that was a problem, brought it back here. All this water is going to be ripping. These are downspouts that are going to be maxed out. We already have a catch basin on this line. Instead of putting a catch basin here, the guys just went ahead and put a catch basin here. Now I'm going to tell you some advantages to doing it like this. One, we know it's going to stay clean because you have this downspout and this downspout merging together. And when these downspouts are running at their max together, combined, this piece of pipe is going to stay super clean. Any debris could be grabbed up right here after they merge together. What's nice about having this catch basin here opposed to here is it's super easy right now to take a camera and go this way, or take a camera and go all the way out there if in the event there was an issue. Now, I don't ever foresee an issue. The guys do such a good job. Their grade is always perfect. The bottom of their trenches is always perfect. They take the time. If you take the time to do it right the first time, you won't have problems down the road. But we always want to build our systems so that it's easy for us to run a scope through them, just in the event that there's anything that could possibly happen that we can't foresee. So we have that front corner downspout right there, this downspout right here, those two downspouts, and this downspout on one 4-inch main line. So the guys are putting a riser on the catch basin so that the lid is all the way to grade. Each riser gives you 2 inches of lift No screws, no glue, no nothing. Just literally just slip it on. So there's 2 risers on this one to get it to grade. So it needed to go up 4 inches. Guys put plenty of pea stone under it and they add a little more on the side of it for good measure. That way the water can come in contact with more of the subsurface soil. So in this example, we are running this downspout underground for 50 feet to get it to the fall that we want so that the whole line empties. Another thing we're going to do, you see all these roots? We want one piece of pipe going through this area because there's nothing but roots. A situation where if you had a coupler there, the roots might find their way into your system. So one piece of pipe from the Y all the way to the pop-up emitter. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.